We're going to discuss how to do the 2-week poster project for Module 10, Classifying Life. We sent home an assignment sheet, and I'm just going to read through it and discuss as needed. So it begins that this is a 2-week project. During this module, you'll be learning about the 5 kingdoms of life on Earth. This week, you read specifically about the kingdoms Manera and Protista. I would like you to begin to collect pictures of examples from each of the 5 kingdoms. So let's begin with the kingdoms Manera and Protista. Your ultimate job is to find at least 2 pictures of creatures that represent each of the 5 kingdoms. For the kingdoms Plantae, Animalia, and Fungi, you should be able to come up with a lot more pictures. This should be put together in a nice poster to be labeled and turned in for grading. I'll bring in a sample next week. You can find pictures the old-fashioned way, looking for pictures in magazines or newspapers, drawing your own pictures, or by taking your pictures with a camera, although that's not as easy to do with the first 2 kingdoms. Or you can look for pictures on the internet, with parental approval, of course. I will say that it is probably easiest to gather all of your pictures from an internet search, and I was able to easily find pictures of all of the kingdoms just by choosing an image search. And I'll show you how to do that. I'm using Google Chrome, but this will work for any search engine that you prefer. I type in Kingdom Protista, and I'm brought to a page that has information about the Kingdom Protista. For the purposes of this particular assignment, I really need to do an image search, so I'm going to click on Images. And I'm brought to a page that has images from the Kingdom Protista. And I realize that as I get here that I've actually searched too broadly, so I'm going to narrow my search. First, I'm going to look up pictures of amoeba, and there are lots on this page. And I can do the same thing for Paramecium and Euglena and any member of the Kingdom Protista. On this page, I have a lot of nice pictures of Euglena. I'm going to click on one of them. And over to the side, it's going to give me a larger picture of the image that I chose. In order to copy the image, I'm going to right-click on the image in the search engine, and a menu is going to pop up. I'm going to choose Copy from that menu, and then I'm going to switch back over to a document, and I'm going to paste the image into my document. And from there, I can make the image larger or smaller, whatever I need to do. So I right-click on the image, and up pops a menu, and I'm going to choose Copy Image. I switch over to my document. I've opened a document in Microsoft Word, but this will work in whatever word processing program that you have at home. I'm going to choose Paste, and there's my lovely picture of a Euglena. If I click on the picture, I can resize it to any size I want. And so I have a picture of a Euglena. I can do the same thing with Paramecium, and I believe that's a diatom. Once I have enough pictures from each of the 5 kingdoms, I will want to print out my pictures, cut them out, and I'm going to want to paste them in a nice arrangement on either a poster board or a half of a poster board. It doesn't have to be white. I'm going to use white for the purposes of this video. You can use a black poster board or a neon poster board, whatever you think looks nice. I'm just going to stick with white. And so I arranged my pictures of members of the Kingdom Protista in an arrangement that I like. Notice that I've printed them out in color. If you don't have a color printer, you may print them out in black and white. If you need to do that, no points will be taken off from the assignment. However, I encourage you that if you have to print out your pictures of your creatures in black and white, to go ahead and put a piece of colored paper behind it just to add some color to your poster to make it look more attractive. Don't forget to label each kingdom so that we're not trying to figure out that information on our own. You can type up your labels and cut them out and glue them to your poster board just like you have glued on your pictures of your creatures. And so here is how I put together my 5 kingdoms poster. Notice that I have labels for each of my 5 kingdoms, and I have at least 2 pictures with representatives from each of the 5 kingdoms: Protista, Monera, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. This is an example of a poster made by one of your fellow students. This was made by Marie. She did a nice job. Notice that she has at least 2 pictures from each of her 5 kingdoms. She has labeled each of her kingdoms, and at the top she has an overall label for the poster, the 5 kingdoms. This poster was done by Macy, and notice that she has labeled every picture that she printed out. You don't have to do that, but that was a nice touch. Notice also that while most of her pictures came from a search engine, that she did include a picture of her dog Lizzie on it, and you are allowed to do that if you want to. This poster was done by Christopher. He went ahead and got 3 examples from each of the 5 kingdoms. And this poster was done by April. Notice that some of the posters are tall and some of them are wide. You can choose, you're the artist, you can choose how you do it, and you can choose how you arrange them on your poster board. I hope this short video was helpful, and I wish you well on your 5 kingdoms poster project.